A federal judge Friday ordered a former Blackwater worldwide security contractor to remain in a federal prison while awaiting retrial after a federal appeals court threw out his first-degree murder conviction in shootings that killed 14 unarmed Iraqi civilians in Baghdad's Nisour Square in 2007. U.S. District Judge Royce C. Lamberth of the District of Columbia set a retrial date for June for Nicholas A. Slatton, 33, of Sparta, 10. Slatton has been in prison in Sumterville, Florida, serving a mandatory life sentence since his October 2014 conviction, and the evidence in that case weighed against his pretrial release, the judge said. 4 Blackwater guards found guilty in 2007 Iraq shootings of 31 unarmed civilians. Lamberth noted that he heard weeks of testimony at Slatton's trial that spoke to his danger to the community. In addition, the defendant now knows that the evidence presented at trial was strong enough for a jury to convict, a fact that speaks to whether he is a greater flight risk. A 3-judge panel of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit on August 4 threw out the initial verdict, saying that the trial court had erred in not allowing Slatton to be tried separately from co-defendants, even though one of them said he, not Slatton, had fired the shots that killed the first civilian victim, leading a team of U.S. security contractors to open fire indiscriminately on vehicles and pedestrians in a crowded traffic circle. The shootings marked one of the lowest points of the U.S. war in Iraq. Murder conviction in Blackwater case thrown out, other sentences overturned. Slatton's attorneys had asked that he be released on his own recognizance, with restrictions on travel and possessing firearms, while a new trial was pending. They said those terms would have been appropriate because his prison record was free of disciplinary action and he had spent nearly 6 years living under similar terms between the time he was first charged in December 2008 and his conviction. Against this backdrop of Slatton's continued cooperation and a new trial at which he will be entitled to present the evidence of his innocence to a jury, the government cannot demonstrate that Slatton is a greater flight risk than before these positive developments, wrote Stephen Fredley, one of Slatton's attorneys, in a filing. Prosecutors urged Slatton's continued detention, saying his incentive to flee has only increased now that he knows a jury has convicted him and that one can do so again. Slatton is an extremely dangerous person who believes that some human beings, particularly Iraqis, are no more than animals, and that he is willing to act on those beliefs by committing murder, Assistant U.S. Attorneys T. Patrick Martin and Fernando Campo Amot Sanchez wrote to the court. They said his history of threats, assaults, and misuse of firearms during the pendency of this case also show that he is a dangerous individual who does not submit to authority. Assistant U.S. Attorney Patrick Martin of the district had said the government anticipated a 6-week case with 50 witnesses, including about 15 from Iraq. Lamberth set a trial date of June 11, 2018.